What's going on, everyone? If you happen to stumble upon this and don't know what's going on, this is the new official home of FORNEVERNEWS. I'd greatly appreciate any and everybody that would subscribe and hit the bell to get all notifications. We drop new episodes of FORNEVERNEWS, the full episode, every Saturday, 12 p.m. EST. You get your bang for your buck. You get all the latest and greatest in the world of anime and manga news. Even if you're not necessarily watching that much anime and reading that much manga, I'll keep you informed and you'll be somewhat entertained. So, hope you stay tuned for this one, and let's jump into the show. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of FORNEVERNEWS, the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related. And we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, a huge, enormous week of anime and manga related news. It is quite the fiesta, to say the least, and I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's jump into it. Yu Yu Hakusho fans, I repeat, all Yu Yu Hakusho fans, come to the front center, please, because holy cow, Netflix is on it. In case you don't remember, I reported on it quite some time ago now that Netflix announced they had a Yu Yu Hakusho live action adaptation in development, and you already know it's time to worry. Of course, it's time to worry when any live action adaptations of our precious anime and manga are announced, because you'll get something like Netflix's Death Note, you'll get something like Dragon Ball Evolution. You know, there's just, you never know what you're gonna get, and most of the time you actually do know, because it has been quite the shit show, to say the least. So when we got the announcement of Netflix doing Yu Yu Hakusho live action, part of me was a little bit interested in a weird and strange way of like, what will they do with this one? You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't know at this point what changes they're going to be made or whatever. So I was like, what are they going to be doing here? But we got this one, and for starters, I've seen the talks. I've seen people, what they're saying. We're going to go cast member by cast member, because we got the main four: Hiei, Yusuke, Kurama, and Kuwabara. We got their look, and yeah, unveiling the cast of the live action Yu Yu Hakusho over the next few days. Stay tuned to this thread, and this was posted a few days ago now, and with it came a picture of four images representing, so to speak, the four main characters. One, a hand doing a spirit gun for Yusuke, a hand with a rose for Kurama, a hand with bandages for that Hiei, Dragon of the Darkness Flame, and a dude with a jacket for Kuwabara. You already know his vibe, so let's jump into it, shall we? The first cast member we have is Yusuke Urameshi, and he will be played by Takumi Kitamura, and I believe some of these people have credentials, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if it's Yusuke or one of the other characters, but a few of them have played in the Tokyo Revengers live action. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the guy that played Yusuke, he played Ichigo in Bleach? Don't quote me on that one, might be off on that, but I'm looking off rip. I could tell that they desperately wanted to make sure that they make the hair accurate as possible, even though I still feel like it kind of looks a little more modernized, of like swoop to the side, opposed to Yusuke there's a straight back, and it's, I'm not gonna say horrible or anything like that. It's like, okay, it's massively done with a bunch of effects and, you know, Photoshop and stuff like that to make it look as badass as possible. So it's like, I'm not gonna say it's horrible or anything like that. He looks kind of cool, I guess. If I'm being honest, when I look at this image, not the first thing to my mind is, yo, that's Yusuke Urameshi, but it's like, okay-ish. Then next up is Kurama, and Kurama will be played by Jun Shisong, and Kurama, the wig is like, I don't know, probably could have had a better wig. Again, a whole bunch of CG and not CG, but a whole bunch of, well, yeah, CG, computer generated images, a whole bunch of Photoshop done, and it's like, hey, the costume kind of looks dope. You can see a little bit of it, almost looks like a kimono, so to speak, but the wig, and again, when I see this, it doesn't immediately jump out at me like, oh god, that's Kurama all the way, dude. It's like, okay, I guess. Moving forward, Hiei. Now, Hiei, I'm not gonna lie, what the fuck? I'ma just straight up say, what the fuck? Hiei will be played by Kanata Hongo, and dude looks like Elvis. Yo, are we doing Elvis Presley? Like, what the hell is this? No, I don't like it. I don't like this at all. Like, yeah, maybe he could pull it off, off. And again, a big factor in all of this is going to be the acting. To be honest with you, I almost feel like they played it safe by having it a full Japanese cast, because you know, when it gets into the diverse situation, then they got X, Y, and Z issues. So I feel like it was almost more safe, because like oftentimes I've noticed when it comes to live actions, while yeah, they can still be bad when they're done over there in Japan as well, there's been a lot like the Rurouni Kenshin films, for example, that were really good. So I feel like that was them playing it safe with such a precious IP, because they know Yu Yu Hakusho fans ain't gonna have it. I am Yu Yu Hakusho fans. Hello, forever, for never. Where you think you get it? And this shit looks terrible. Get it out of here. Throw it in rice. Throw this motherfucker in rice, okay? No, that is not Hiei. I'm sorry. Again, acting wise, it could be a different story. He could be amazing, and we'll see when the time comes. But the way it's done with the hair and shit, like, no. And then last but not least, Kazuma Kuwabara will be played by Shuhei Uesugi, and he doesn't really scream Kuwabara to me at all either. Again, maybe I might be too knee deep and too embedded into this situation of, dog, I love Yu Yu Hakusho so much, and there's like a million other actors that I can think, like, what is that basketball player? If I'm not mistaken, there's a basketball player that look identical to Kuwabara. Obviously, he's probably a lot older now, but they could have done a way better job at getting somebody for Kuwabara. Like, I will say this, Yusuke, not too bad. Kurama, the wig ain't great, but whatever. Hiei, absolutely horrendous, and Kuwabara, just no. Like, half the cast is okay-ish. We're already off to a bad start, because at the very least with the Cowboy Bebop live action, despite how that turned out and fans hated it and all that shit, in the beginning, people were like, well, you got some notable actors. People were actually receptive to the actors and stuff like that. So this still very well could have potential. This still very well could turn out good. But as it stands right now, I hate the way Hiei looks. I hate it. It's terrible. And that's not Kuwabara. I'm sorry. That's not. He looks more like, oh shit, I can't even think of his name right now. It escapes me at the moment. But he looks more like a slightly cooler version of the villain of Tokyo Revengers. That's who he should play. He looks like the villain of Tokyo Revengers. You throw some glasses on him, he looks like that. Not Kuwabara. That's not Kuwabara. I reject thy nonsense. Okay? No. But yeah, people, breaking news. Even though it's not breaking, it's been out for a bit. But breaking news. These are the cast members of Yu Yu Hakusho's Hiei, Kurama, Kuwabara, and Yusuke. And I'm not that much of a fan. Two of them are okay-ish, but you're not going to sell a movie with okay-ish. You're not going to sell whatever it is that they have going on here with that. Again, time will tell how the movie actually plays out. It could turn out great, but as it stands, not my cast, not my Yu Yu Hakusho. No. And I hate to say it like that, because I know I've went on record on saying, yo, anime fans need to give, live action a little more of a chance to shine. I really thought Cowboy Bebop did great, aside from the ending, but so far, no. And maybe I'm too entrenched in it. I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho means a lot to me. A lot to me. So maybe that's the case, but let me know what you think. Are those the characters that you know and love? Or next up, big news for Vic Mignogna fans. In case you don't know the whole history of what has happened and what has transpired over the last 3 or so years, the actor Vic Mignogna, who has voiced characters such as Broly in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super's Broly film, Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist, and many of characters, was accused of certain acts when it came to some of his fellow castmates in certain series. And yeah, it got real messy. There were lawsuits, all sorts of stuff, and essentially Vic Mignogna was pretty much blackballed out of voice acting industry, quote unquote, from my observation. Again, I'm not saying that this is all facts, but seems to be that he hasn't been able to get work since then. He was, quote unquote, fired from Funimation, although I don't know how that works, considering like most of the voice actors aren't like contracted with Funimation. They're just like, hey, here's a job, here's a couple bucks. So I don't know how you fire somebody, but it's been very quiet for Vic Mignogna. A lot of fans have been speculating like, yo, what is he going to do next? Is he completely done with the anime world, or what's up? Well, apparently Vic Mignogna is back, and thanks to, I believe it's Anime Matsuri, he is returning with a vengeance, because it seems as though he's starting his own dubbing studio. Let's jump into this story. Anime Matsuri creates a new dubbing studio with Vic Mignogna. Anime Matsuri held a special live stream on their YouTube channel on Sunday night to announce they created their own dubbing studio. The new dubbing studio started in November 2021, and they've already started recording. Denise and John Lay from Anime Matsuri traveled to Japan to meet up with Nippon Animation for a collaboration. Nippon Animation gave Anime Matsuri 2 anime movies that have never been dubbed in America before. The 2 anime movies are Genbanojo and Zip Shimezo. They are described as anime for all ages to enjoy. Being an ADR director himself, Vic Mignogna was asked by Anime Matsuri to become part of the new dubbing studio. Over the recent years, Vic has been asked countless times when he will return to voice acting in anime. Along with the news of Vic joining the new dubbing studio, Vic, who was a special guest on the live stream, announced he will be voicing in the 2 anime movies and is listed as being the ADR director for both anime. The 2 anime dubs will be premiering live at the 16th annual Anime Matsuri 2022 convention on Friday, July 29th at 8 p.m. A second showing will be on Saturday in theaters area at the convention. After the premiere, there will be a question and answer session with the voice actors. Nippon Animation will also be attending the premiere. Vic's reaction to being asked to be part of the new dubbing studio was described as, he just dropped to the floor. When asked what it felt like to be back in the studio voice recording, Vic answered, I came in down there to work on Genbanojo with Jacob first, and he was behind the console. And I went into the booth and put the headphones on, and it was the first time that I had done that in probably, 2 years. And I teared up a little bit, I have to say. Denise and Jacob, the other 2 guests on the live stream from, this is getting me sad. Just hearing that he teared up when he got in the booth, agreed with how emotional the moment was. Being a part of this industry has been such a great joy in my life for the last 20 years that I've been in the anime industry, and I love it so much. I love working on it. So it was a real humbling opportunity to get back into it. Jacob stressed that this was not a one-off special event. They're working hard to acquire licenses and all the things required in running an anime dubbing studio. This is just the beginning. Having fans to support their work also makes a tremendous difference. It was noted during the stream that technological advances in today's world enables them to have people do voice acting from around the world. For example, one voice actor in Zip Shimezo voiced their role from the Netherlands. In fact, the majority of this movie was recorded remotely. To see the full announcement, blah blah blah. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I am so happy to hear that Vic Mignogna is getting another chance at this whole thing. I am so happy to hear that he is moving on to grander pastures, because it's been probably, I could only imagine, some of the darkest times for Vic Mignogna throughout this whole process. And to hear that he is coming out and coming back with a vengeance, working hard in a new dubbing studio and whatnot. Shout outs to Anime Matsuri. And if you guys happen to catch this, if there's anything you would want me to do or need me to do, please feel free to reach out. I am definitely interested in working with you guys at any capacity. I love to hear what y'all doing for Vic, and I love to hear that, just a new venture in general for this, I guess convention, kind of deciding to take the bull by the horns and do some really awesome stuff. So absolutely massively support it. Any Vic Mignogna fans, highly recommend you go check those out, support them so they could get more, and so this ball could keep rolling. There's a lot of changes happening in the anime industry as a whole in general, and new blood, a new dubbing studio is excellent. So again, I support them to the fullest, and I'm just happy to hear that, with all the terrible, terrible dark stuff that has surrounded that whole situation over the last few years, seems like everybody is going their separate ways, and I'm just happy for Vic. I'm really happy that despite it all, he's moving forward. And shout outs once again to Anime Matsuri for providing an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? This world is so quick to hit that cancel button, right? It's so quick to try and destroy somebody for X, Y, and Z, and there's never any room at this particular point for the redemption story. Here's Vic's redemption story. You go, Vic. We got your back. Okay, people, next up, I covered this over on the main channel, but for those that missed it over here on FORNEVERNEWS, this is very big. In case you don't know, it was announced, I want to say maybe a week or so ago. No, at this point, I want to say it was a month ago. It's been a bit anyway, this summer, that One Piece was entering its final arc. That's why it went on a massive break. And we got this final message from the creator of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, for the final arc of One Piece. Let's just quickly read and we'll talk. Eiichiro Oda's message on One Piece starting its final arc in Weekly Shonen Jump number 34. When I was a kid, I had this thought. I wish I could draw a manga series in which the ending is the most exciting part. I wonder if I'll be up to it. Now we're almost done with the Wano Country arc and the preparation work is ready. It took me 25 years to reach this point. Ha ha ha. But it's still fine if you start reading from here. From now on, this will be One Piece. I will draw all the mysteries left in this world that I have been hiding until now. It's going to be really interesting. Please fasten your seatbelts. Thank you so much. I hope you keep up with me a bit longer. And it's still crazy to think that this manga has been going on this entire time and we're finally entering the final arc. But yeah, it's about freaking time, honestly. It's about time we get to it now. To be 100% honest with you, for people that are like, yo, that's crazy, One Piece is finally in, let's also put some things into perspective. They said Naruto was entering its final arc, and I always gotta say this, but it's a fact. And considering One Piece is from the Naruto era, it's pretty much the last embers of that generation. Naruto's final arc was announced, I believe, September of 2010. Naruto didn't end its final 700th chapter until November of 2014. Put that into perspective for a moment, and that's how long, if not even longer, that One Piece can go, because there's a million things, dog. He has to be Pirate King. They gotta find the One Piece. They gotta fight the world government. They gotta fight Blackbeard and them. Gotta find out about Shanks. Gotta find out about the Celestial Dragons. Gotta find out about the Will of D, the Void Sentry. There is a bajillion things. So, hey, we could either get a bombshell every week, or this final arc could be a 10-year project. Who the hell knows? I doubt it'll be 10 years. I doubt it'll go past 4. That's my opinion, but we gotta wait and see. Either way, final message from Eiichiro Oda on One Piece ending. Okay, people, this is a stark and harsh reality of the Boruto Naruto Next Generation's anime, because one of the things that I always hear about the Boruto anime is, yo, it does so well, it doesn't matter, they're going to keep on doing everything that we don't like, we don't want to see these extended fillers that are just bad and have poor animation. But again, the argument has always been, no, it makes too much money. And while it does make a lot of money, because we got to be clear, there's TV Tokyo, there's the publishers, there's a lot of people that eat off of these IP. The anime itself isn't a high charter. It doesn't rank all that high. In fact, it only managed to crack the top charts one freaking time. This is a harsh and stark truth about the Boruto anime. As a franchise, it makes a lot of money for whatever reason, whether it be because of the video games. I have a theory that they are masking and disguising that a lot of that money is actually coming from Naruto and just translating over to Boruto, but you can't really differentiate, right? Because at the end of the day, Naruto fans see something in Boruto, there's a higher probability that they might grab something just because I love Naruto so much, whatever. Oh my god, there's a sticker of Hokage Naruto with Boruto. I'm going to go buy that. There's a card game with Hokage Naruto inside of Boruto. I'm going to buy that. So I think that definitely contributes to a lot of the money that is made. But again, the TV anime itself isn't a high ranker. And we got a little bit of info courtesy of Organic Dinosaur that gives a stark and harsh reality of where Boruto is at as an anime, its characters' popularity, and just in general, what's going on. FYI, Kawaki ranking at number 23, 52 points in the best male character category for the 44th Anime Grand Prix is significant. The annual ballot mail-in postcard system for Animage is very well regarded because it is less subject to vote manipulation. 1 vote per magazine purchase. IIRC eligible nominations are from the previous fiscal year for any broadcasting. For reference, Levi Ackerman was number 21 with 57 points, while Satoru Gojo was number 3 with 142 points. So to put it into perspective, Kawaki ranked at number 23 with 52 points. Satoru Gojo did 142 points. So there's a massive difference in the popularity there. And while that's great news in terms of like, it actually charted as a, they got a character to chart in one of these things, which in the grand scheme of things, how big is that? Like, hey, Kawaki's a popular character. We all know that. He's the badass that people like. He's a lot of the reason people are keeping up to date with Boruto. This right here is going to shock you. Also to note about the Boruto anime, the only episode that's achieved a top weekly national ranking thus far was during the time slip arc. Episode number 131, The Power of the Kyuubi. When Boruto and Sasuke went back to OG Naruto and we saw little Naruto, Jiraiya, the village, all of that jazz. Like those episodes, coincidentally, OG Naruto, were the only ones that managed to have a top weekly national ranking. And it had an average household rating of 1.6% in the Kanto region, and the 10th place for the week of, and I remember this, I believe I even reported on this, it was October 28th through November 3rd of 2019, if I'm not mistaken. And that's not good at all. Only one episode and 200 and however many, what we at, like 250 now or something? We're crazy amounts in. And only one episode managed to rank, and that was a 1.6%. And 1.6%, I'm going to tell you right now, is not great at all. To put it into perspective, One Piece on average, I usually see it at like a 4.0, 4.5. Sometimes it goes up to 6 and stuff like that. I've seen it at 7 and 8. So in all of these episodes, even despite, the Momoshiki, the the Ishiki versus Naruto and Sasuke, the Boro episode, none of that managed to crack the top 10. It was only when it went back to Naruto, which is why I constantly say, and I understand Boruto fans' frustrations. I'm a Boruto fan that is frustrated. I like Boruto. Like, you can't disregard that because I have criticisms that I am a Boruto fan. They're eventually going to inevitably have to go back to Naruto. Majority of Boruto's success, while yes, there's a lot of elements that are great about it, like 2020's manga, Boruto was just one of the best manga for me, period. 2021, the anime dominated and showed the world, yo, Boruto is capable of some shit, but that doesn't negate the fact that the only episode that actually aired top 10, the only episode that grabbed Japan's attention for that week was going back to OG Naruto. And that's not good at all, considering we're a long runner and long runners are a dying breed. I'm going to call it that eventually. Either they're going to have to go more Naruto-centric, more Naruto-focused, or the time skip is going to have to go in a whole different direction, because how long can they sustain? Like, if the franchise is making money, that's one thing. If the studios that are airing it aren't getting great ratings for this, how long can that really last? How long can it sustain itself, not even cracking top 10, despite that they got to crank out an episode every week? And I guess we got to wait and see. But as it stands right now, Boruto anime and 200 plus episodes. Again, I don't even know where we're at right now. I lost track after we passed Naruto's 220. So it's not doing great at all. This is not good. Kawaki is popular, great. Gojo is 3 times popular. And I'm not saying this to shit on Boruto. I'm saying that this right here is the reality of the popularity of the Boruto anime. Accept it. Attack on Titan fans, massive news and probably a little bit of spoiler stuff, but it's a word from the creator of Attack on Titan, Hajime Isayama, in particular, naming something. Well, no, actually, it's not spoilers. This already was showcased in the anime, if I'm not mistaken. Something massive for the Attack on Titan series that was surprisingly overlooked within the manga, because towards the end of Attack on Titan, there is a giant new Titan, so to speak, that went nameless. It never got named in the manga. A lot of people were just like, hey, that's that ultimate form thingy majig. Well, apparently they finally named it, and it's not the greatest name in the world. In fact, I'm starting to look at the Japanese like, yo, dog, between Toriyama naming Piccolo's new form in Dragon Ball Super Superhero Piccolo Orange and Beast Gohan, what are y'all doing? I get it that y'all trying to make these names as simple as possible so that way anybody could just, oh, that's that, but Jesus Christ, Hajime Isayama. Attack on Titan's creator gives Eren's final Titan form an official name. The original creator behind Attack on Titan has finally explained that there's actually a real name for Eren Yeager's final Titan transformation in the series. While the series is currently hard at work with the third and presumably final part of the third and fourth season of the anime, the original manga series wrapped up its run quite some time ago. It's led fans to wonder about whether or not the end of the series works and whether or not the anime will adapt it as is. But those are also far from the only questions fans have had about the series when it ended. With Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2 gearing up for its next Blu-ray and DVD home media release overseas, so they basically revealed this as like a promotional tool. Gotcha. The official Twitter account for the series has revealed some slick new art of Eren's new transformation that fans see at the end of Part 2's episodes. This form was actually never given an official name within the context of the original manga, and thus series creator Hajime Isayama has provided the name of this new form to the anime staff. As fans might have guessed, this Eren form has been dubbed the Final Titan. Wow. Hey, the Final Titan. No shit, Sherlock, it is the final freaking Titan. Like, yo, the Japanese, the mangaka in particular, I don't know if it's the publishing companies that are saying, yo, make this shit as easy as a 3-year-old can know it and an 83-year-old can know it, or what the hell is going on, because, dog, like, the Final Titan, I mean, hey, it works. It's not a bad name per se, but it's just like, you couldn't come up with anything else, Mystical Titan or Titan of the End, like Final Titan. Okay. I know it's not the biggest thing in the world, but I find it to be quite hilarious that the Final Titan is the Final Titan. Yeah, thanks, Isayama. But also in Attack on Titan related news, Attack on Titan anime fans, you've got a little bit something here, because recently with the release of the latest Blu-ray DVD, it might be the final one of the last batch of episodes, they came with a lot of changes. There's a lot of scenes that were updated. Usually they improve the visuals and whatnot of the home video releases for anime. So like if you've ever seen a Dragon Ball Super Episode 5, for example, they actually updated that terrible look of Goku Goku while he was fighting Beerus, and it looked a lot better on Blu-ray. Well, they did the same thing with Attack on Titan, and with it came a couple of comments, in particular from Mappa Studios, which they finally addressed something big in terms of the change from Studio Wit to Studio Mappa. It says here, Hiroshi Seko, screenwriter on Attack on Titan at the Mappa panel in Japan Expo 2022. I feel that this change between Wit and Mappa is good, since it also represents the change in work. So essentially what fans have mostly said, for the most part, because Attack on Titan changed damn near dramatically, I would argue, it's like a whole different series after season 3, it kind of fit to change the studios. The art style changed a little bit, got a little more serious and grittier. Not that the previous art style was not serious, but the kind of character models got a little bit sharper, a little bit more darker in color and stuff like that. I definitely think, I agree. I definitely agree with what dude is saying. Like, it actually benefits that, hey, series changed as a whole moving forward. Yeah, this should also change and reflect in the art. And also, they just updated a lot of visuals, even some stuff like flashbacks from the previous one. They went in and kind of tweaked it, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm not mad at it. It looks pretty dope. But also, it's very interesting, the relationship between Studio Wit and Studio Mappa, because haven't they lost like 2 titles to them now? If Spy Family goes to them, all hope is lost. Thankfully, they got Clover'S holding them down and having their back, but geez, like, Wit, hold it together. I swear to God. Ranking of Kings, dog. Don't play with me. Ranking of Kings, we better get that season 2, and Studio Wit better hold it together. I don't know what's happening over there, whatever advertisers, whatever sponsors. If I had the money, I'm not even gonna lie, I would 100% go over there and be like, what's good? I got the bread. I just want to be a silent partner. I just want to help out. That's it. Like, I could be a silent partner. We'll get money in the back end. I will promote the fuck out of that on my FORNEVERWorld and FORNEVERNEWS channel. I'm just saying, let's make it happen. My Hero Academia fans, massive news. In case you don't know, season 6 of My Hero Academia, if they do it right, if Studio Bones cares enough, if Studio Bones isn't too focused on, I don't know, Mob Psycho 100 season 3 and just in general movies and all the other crap that they decide to do instead of focusing in on My Hero Academia, season 6 should ideally be the best season. Like, season 5 was supposed to be the best up to that point, but you know, that ship has kind of sailed. But season 6 is supposed to be the best season, and a lot of fans, including myself, are very much so excited, because yeah, there's a lot of really awesome stuff, and we finally got the official full release date for season 6 when it starts. It says here, My Hero Academia anime season 6 broadcast begins from October 1st, so straight away, the fall season. In case you missed it, over on my ForneverWorld channel, I talked about all the anime from the fall season that you should be watching, all the gems and whatnot. Go check that video out. I'll have it right here, whatnot. Go check it out. It's a great video. And also, My Hero Academia starting October, like, this year is about to, oh my god, it's like the summer is the last embers of the shit we've had to put up with in 2022. Just the last embers. And once we jump in straight away, in fact, I'm lying, because August we already got Dragon Ball Super Superhero is coming to theaters. Could argue whether or not, you know, to be excited about that. I'm excited. And then September JoJo's, October everything else, baby. Let's freaking go. My Hero October 1st, kicking off the fall season in the best way possible. I'm beyond excited. I'm ecstatic. I'm just riveted for it, mate. No. In particular, I'll just say this. Shigaraki, Tomura, fanboys, we're about to eat. So long they don't drop the ball. So long they don't pull some bullshit. Like, I'm watching Studio Bones very closely. Black Clover fans, I am beyond ecstatic to bring you this little nugget of massive information for the upcoming return. July 31st, Black Clover is returning with a vengeance, and we've got a little bit of a teaser of what's about to go down. I mean, yeah, you probably either saw by the timestamp or the title or wherever the heck you are watching this right now, but Black Clover's return is going to be massive, and we're getting a time skip with the final saga and everything. Let's just read everything we got here right now, because baby, this is exciting to be a Black Clover fan. For starters, it says Black Clover's manga final arc / saga, those who become the strongest Wizard King. Now, that's not exactly the most accurate translation. It might be a little bit different. Basically, these are fan translations, but essentially the final arc / saga is more or less going to be those who become the strongest Wizard King, because if you're reading Black Clover, which don't worry, I will not spoil, but if you're reading Black Clover, you know how the last chapter before the hiatus was, so this is going to be obviously the big main focus of it. But aside from that, because that's great, that's huge, that's massive already, that, okay, it's going to really focus on Asta and Yuno's dream, the whole point of the story to begin with, right? You want to be Wizard King, he want to be Wizard King. Well, it takes it a step further to tell us that Black Clover Chapter 332's preview is a little over a year after the fierce battle. Asta and the others are summoned, and there's no art yet, but a little over a year. So we got another time skip incoming, and I honestly, I'm gonna straight up say it up and down, I really hope Yuki Tabata goes the route of Kobe from One Piece. And what I mean by that is throw it within a year that Asta is like jacked and tall as shit. Like, well, he's already jacked now after the last time skip, but make it that he either grew taller or just, I don't know, he got a mustache now, or his hair is long or some shit, and not cut, preferably. I hate when they do that. Oh my god, Hiro Mashima had me so upset when he debuted Natsu after that time skip, and Natsu had the long hair, and it was like the coolest design I had ever seen, and then, oh yeah, we're cutting it. I was like, Hiro Mashima, why must you tease us with amazing character designs and take them away? So if you're gonna give long hair to either Asta or Yuno, don't do it, dog. Don't cut it. Or at the very least, if you hate drawing that long shit, then put it in a ponytail, and when he gets into a fight, then it comes out. But don't, please, because that would be epic as hell to see them with that design. But either way, another freaking time skip for Black Clover, which I have no doubt in my mind this is going to be same for like One Piece down the road. We're probably going to get another one, and considering it's going into its final arc, yeah, that makes sense. But holy snap, a freaking time skip. Let's go. Y'all know FORNEVER, and my bag is, I love time skips because it begins anew, a fresh start, so to speak. And it's crazy that, holy snap, Black Clover and Boruto started around the same time, and Black Clover is getting to a second time skip before Boruto's gotten into the first one that was teased to us ages ago. Like, where they do that at? Black Clover is where they do that. And I'm not trying to put down Boruto by any means. I'm just saying that. Yo, let's go. Another time skip. What do you want from this? I'm gonna just straight up, I have to ask, what do you guys want from Black Clover's time skip? Do you want new designs? Do you want new powers? Do you want to see, like, I don't freaking know, Leeb look different? You want Yuno, Noel, Mimosa, Yami? Oh my god, there's just so many freaking things. I can't even believe it. We're going into a new time skip into the strongest Wizard King arc saga. Black Clover, I'm gonna say it again. If you're a Black Clover fan, I don't know, I just want to say I love you. I'm just too excited right now. Shout outs to all you guys. Shout outs to that Black Clover greatness, the Black Clover Hive. Guess what, people? It's time. July 31st. We move, baby. Let's go. Okay, people, this is probably going to go down as one of the most historic crossovers and one of the biggest crossovers that we've seen in manga history. And I'm not exaggerating. This is to the levels of anybody that's ever heard of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the movie. That movie is iconic for many different reasons, but in particular, one of the biggest things that it did was it showed crossovers that you never thought you would see happen. You never thought in a million years that you was going to see Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse on top of that with a live action backdrop in a film together, like in real, you know, like actually canonical. Well, there's no canon, but you know what I'm saying, by the real creators, not just fans putting them together. You got to see this crossover between Disney, Warner Brothers, all sorts of stuff that you're more than likely never going to see again. They did it, and this right here is pretty much the equivalent to that, but with manga, because y'all know Jump Force was, and J-Star's Victory Versus was like the video game version of this. This is the manga version of a crossover that probably will never happen again. I'm still speechless that this is actually happening, considering the fact that these two conglomerates that are crossing over, Shonen Jump and Shonen Sunday, are from two rival publishers. Shogakukan and Shueisha are rivals. The only thing I can think of is that the Japanese have realized throughout the time that, yo dog, the West is starting to buy in. The West is going to eat us alive. Let's join arms and work together to make this shit happen and get the biggest bags and protect ourselves. Like, that's the only other reason I can see a crossover like this happening, because this is unheard of, dog. They are rivals. They don't rock with each other like that. So to see it, it's insane, because according to this right here, we got One Piece and Detective Conan having a joint cover spread feature on Weekly Shonen Jump issues number 34 and issue number 35. Pretty much it's two covers back to back. One is with Luffy and a character from Conan, and another is Conan and a character from One Piece, Zoro. And holy shit, I have to get both magazines. Absolutely. And I have to get them framed. Like, this is a must. Anybody that collects Shonen Jump or you just want to buy some cool shit, go to eBay, look up Weekly Shonen Jump 2022, 34, 35. You should buy it. This is probably also going to be worth some type of bread down the road because this is the manga equivalent to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I know you're probably thinking, Fornev, you're exaggerating. Like, no, by all means, this is historic. This is something huge because, again, these are two creators that not only are their anime still ongoing, and a market that ongoing anime is pretty much dead. Aside from those two and Boruto, what's really ongoing? There's almost nothing. You know, Black Clover was one of the last new gen to try it, and of course Black Clover ended with 170. These two are way past 1,000 episodes, way past 1,000 chapters, and continuing to move. And this is just beautiful, dog. I could cry to see something like this that, 12 years ago when I started really getting heavily into anime and manga, I never thought that I would see something like this. It's just two separate entities, but they came together, and we also got a little bit of, I believe it's an interview if I'm not mistaken. Let's check it out. This is Hiroyuki Nakano, the Weekly Shonen Jump editor-in-chief. I am incredibly happy to announce this joint project, which I know will surprise and delight many manga fans all over Japan and the rest of the world. No, you really shocked the living shit out of me, okay? I did not expect to ever see this. You shocked me. You got me there. I want to pay my utmost respect to both mangaka who continue leading the way in this grueling world of weekly manga series, even after more than 100 volumes. I also want to express my gratitude to the fact that we're able to live in an era in which both Detective Conan and One Piece are simultaneously serialized. Let's continue to support Conan and Luffy as they face greater mysteries. I love how they did it. Like, yo, this is a carefully crafted statement. This was not the dude just sat down and wrote on his laptop. The fact that he put, as they face greater mysteries, the mysteries part is Conan faces mysteries. It's a mystery series. And facing greater foes for One Piece. So, classic. Honestly, this is a legendary moment. If you're a manga fan, you need to be excited. I am telling you, you should be excited because this is big, and this is also going to continue laying groundwork for future endeavors. Like, we could actually see at some given point a Shogakukan meets Shueisha crossover game, which Shogakukan doesn't have the largest catalog of battle series, but we get something where it's like Magi showing up in a freaking Jump game or something, and Magi, one of the greatest battle series of all time. If you haven't read Magi and you're thinking, man, I want to read a shonen manga, go read Magi right now. Like, right freaking pause this video, pull it up, play the video again, listen to me talk, and read some Magi. You will laugh, you will cry, you will question your existence. 1,000% you're gonna question it. And yeah, highly recommend you get excited about this. And also, I don't know, I'm turning this into a Magi recommendation video. Nah, for real, on some real shit. For Gosho Aoyama, for Eiichiro Oda, for Shueisha and Shogakukan. And this is something, if anything, this is a teachable moment real quick. Hold up, I gotta do it, I'm sorry. If these two multi-million-dollar corporations can join forces to do something like this, why the hell is there so much division? Like, even amongst creators on YouTube, dudes is like, I can't rock with him, I can't do a video with him, I'm too, like, no, shut up. If Conan and Luffy can do it, if Eiichiro Oda and Gosho Aoyama, if Shueisha and Shogakukan, if Jump and Shonen Sunday can do it, stop. But seriously, folks, it's a great time to be an anime and manga fan. I'm not gonna lie. Eden Zero fans or fans of Hiro Mashima's various works, because you probably should be a fan of Hiro Mashima. Dude is amazing. He's a icon. He's somebody to look up to, aside from the etchiness and some of the questionable things in Fairy Tail. This dude is amazing. However, Eden Zero, the countdown is on. The countdown towards the end has begun, because over on Twitter, Hiro Mashima, and one of the various endeavors that he gets into, from YouTube to manga to all sorts of stuff, you already know the drill. In case you don't, this man does a lot. Over on Twitter and Spaces, he conducted a, I guess you would say, mini interview, but basically he answered a lot of questions, and he went into detail in particular about Eden's Zero, and how initially he wasn't really planning on going long with Eden Zero. He felt like, yo, dog, I've been doing this a long time. I did 2 full-length, long battle shonen serializations with Rave and then Fairy Tail. I believe he even said that he was only going to go for about like 100 chapters, and due to X, Y, and Z reasons, of course, he went further, and now he actually gave a countdown to the end. It says here, Hiro Mashima said that when he started Eden Zero, he didn't even think he would make it to 200 chapters long. Okay, my bad. So he said 200, not 100. He said he pretty much wouldn't make it to 200 chapters, which is about 4 years. He probably thought he was going to do maybe like 3 years and call it a day. He wanted to make it shorter because he thought he was getting older, and that would make him lose concentration. And he doesn't think that it even has 200 more chapters left. It's 100 plus. He basically said about 100 plus chapters. He probably won't get to 200, but that's a clear indication of, well, he thought that he wasn't going to get to, 200, and we're already 200 chapters over. I'm guessing we got anywhere from, do the math, about 2 to 4 years, maybe 3 years left with it. It just really depends with Eden Zero. Depends on how things go with the Netflix anime adaptation. It kind of has a lot of variables and whatnot, but ultimately, it seems as though Eden Zero won't be going, to 500, 600 chapters. I believe, what was Fairy Tail? 500 chapters? I wouldn't be surprised if Hiro Mashima probably ends it again within about 3 years. I'm going to call it, especially the fact that he got so many other things. Like, granted, Hiro Mashima is a hustler, and maybe it's just right now he's feeling a little bit of a burnout, so that's probably why he said, I don't know, but unless Hiro Mashima has something massive lined up moving forward outside of Eden Zero, and he's like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore, I got bigger and grander ideas, then he'll probably do it till no more than 4 years. I'm going to say maybe 2 or 3, because if he's talking like this now, it's probably that it's weighing on him of, dog, I don't really want to do this like that. Like, if he's saying it doesn't even have 200 chapters left and it's more like maybe 100, we probably got about, again, 2 to 3 more years with Eden Zero, which I'm not caught up, and I've been wanting to catch up. It's just one of those things where I got a lot of things on my plate right now, so it's a wee bit difficult to get to it, mate. But ultimately, I definitely want to catch up, because if we're getting ready to wrap up in the next couple years, it gives an end time. And also, this is another sign of the times. This is something that I've been talking about a lot over this year alone, of they're going a different direction with the anime and manga industry. They're not trying to make manga last that long anymore, because as it continues to go on, yes, it could continue on in popularity, but they're trying to do the wham, bam, get it done type of approach, where if you're gonna do 3 or 4 years, that's fine, you end it, the anime will carry it the rest of the way, the anime will make the money. And that's because anime is more popular than ever in the world. It is globally a phenomenon now, and anime is way more popular than manga, and there's a lot more money to be made where licensing these anime, merchandise and stuff like that, than solely counting on volume sales. Volume sales was a big thing, but considering volumes are going also, manga, everything is going digital right now, right? So manga going digital, they can't necessarily continue to count on volume sales forever. Eventually, it's not going to be that profitable going the anime direction, where they could get, millions of dollars to license it to, Indonesia, all of these other places. Is probably why Hiro Mashima will probably only go a few more years and then let Eden Zero's anime carry it the rest of the way for, the revenue. And I'll be honest with you, I'm all fine with this, especially for creatives like Hiro Mashima. Hiro Mashima is somebody that he wants to do so many different things that it probably weighs on him, like doing this long serialization. Like, there's probably a part of him that he's so used to it that he doesn't want to stop working, but then at the same time, I'd imagine he got so many other passions that this is holding him back. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last long-running shonen battle, classic type of shonen battle series that he does. Like he did Fairy Tail and Rave, and now Eden Zero. Probably the next manga he should do should be something different, whether it be a ecchi series, whether it be a horror series, whatever it may be. Although Hiro Mashima doesn't seem like somebody meant for horror. Maybe like Horikoshi, Koya Horikoshi, author of My Hero Academia. He could do horror. Hiro Mashima, I don't know. A lot of people would probably say, well, the next step is he should be drawing doujinshi hentai, right? No. Whatever it is, we're here to support, but as it stands, Eden Zero won't pass 200 more chapters, and it's less likely than that, more so that it'll probably go about a little over 100 plus. Okay, next up, this is something very interesting, and I'm going to tell you why, because the author, not the artist Boichi, the author, Riichiro Inagaki of Dr. Stone, has a new work in a totally different magazine, in a totally different publication than Shonen Jump and Shueisha. Y'all know that Dr. Stone ran for a good bit, and in fact, it kind of doesn't even feel like it's over, like they just had that special chapter or whatnot. But it seems as though either contractually or morally, I don't know what has changed in, the manga industry or whatever, but I've noticed that a lot of authors are a little more free to jump to other publications, where in the past it was, you with us, and they would be looked at, in my opinion, as traitors if they left. That's just how I felt when I would see it, like, oh damn, they really ain't gonna rock with them. So it's very interesting to note that Riichiro Inagaki, similar to Boichi, where he went to another magazine and for sad reasons couldn't continue on with the manga that he was doing. Now Riichiro Inagaki, it says here, IT Thriller, or IT Thriller, I'm not sure, a Trillion Game by Dr. Stone writer Inagaki Riichiro and Ikegami Ryoichi is on the cover of the Big Comic Superior issue 16 2022. And there's a French release for it or whatever, and it's just fascinating to see because, again, first of all, we saw Boichi, he went out of his way and did a few other things with his art and kind of drawing other series and other publications, and now we see that Riichiro Inagaki is in Big Comic Superior. So obviously Dr. Stone is over, they should ideally be free to do whatever, but considering the way that Jump is positioning Dr. Stone, that I wouldn't be surprised if a few years from now, if Dr. Stone has enough hype, they could even bring that shit back. But it's kind of cool also, and I'm happy for these creators that, go get the bag in Big Comic Superior or whatever, because I'm sure being Riichiro Inagaki, you can demand a nice hefty bag for, yo, I'm Inagaki, I did Dr. Stone, give me that fucking bag right now, I'll slap the shit out of you. But big ups to Riichiro Inagaki, again, a little series that he's working on. I'm not sure if this is a one shot or what's the deal, but in Big Comic Superior, he got something called IT Thriller. So if you're into Riichiro Inagaki as an author, you like what he does, you might want to check that out. The art kind of looks interesting. It's a dude with a cool hairstyle, ponytail, surfing. So I don't know, it's a thriller of surfing. Okay, people, if everyone is not special, maybe you can be what you want to be. Zule, no. Mob Psycho 100 fans, now or never. Mob Psycho is apparently going to be premiering at Crunchyroll Expo. Its first couple of episodes, it says here, Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 Episodes 1 and 2 will be pre-screened at Crunchyroll Expo 2022 on August 5th. So not only do they got the Chainsaw Man trailer, they got this, they got a few different things. Crunchyroll is becoming a powerhouse. Like, I feel like as big of a thing as this is, which makes me really want to go to Crunchyroll Expo. Yo, Crunchyroll, what up? It's Big Fornev. We rock before the past. Hit me up. We can do some shit. But Crunchyroll Expo is looking to be big. And not only that, Crunchyroll itself is becoming a massive conglomerate ever since Sony bought it off and whatnot, because, yo, dog, you're getting exclusive premieres at your convention. Like, this is not something to sniff at. This is something where you already know they were complaining recently about Mob Psycho 100 Season 3's opening being leaked, and now they're putting out these episodes. High possibility they could get leaked too, although I'd imagine they're going to be watching everyone like a hawk in there. If you're going to Crunchyroll Expo and you're watching this right now, don't do it, dog. They're going to throw your ass out. They're going to smash your phone. They're going to have, I don't freaking know, one is gonna come and just One Punch Man Saitama you to the face and grab your phone, dog. Don't do it. They're gonna be watching out like a hawk. But yeah, episodes 1 and 2 of Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 are going to be premiered, which is good news as well. That means that Bones already has pretty much majority of the production, if not all, done and ready to go for the first couple episodes. That's great to hear. That means there's not gonna be much, hiccups. Not that Mob Psycho has ever had hiccups, because for whatever reason Bones decided, hey, we're gonna put in all the works on Mob Psycho and make it great, which realistically that's how it should be. Wink wink, nudge nudge. My Hero Academia season 4 and 5, just saying. Okay, people, next up, in case you don't know, the original author of the Yu-Gi-Oh manga series, Kazuki Takahashi, recently passed away. It was according to coroner's reports due to a snorkeling accident. He was found on the shore in snorkeling gear, and really sad time, and a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh fans across the globe have been mourning and whatnot. And apparently, according to this, it says Weekly Shonen Jump editors and serialized authors pay condolences on the passing of Yu-Gi-Oh mangaka Kazuki Takahashi in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 34. And if you follow Forever News, definitely that issue, as long as I get my hands on it, I will let you guys know everything that is said, because this is a time of mourning for this author. He changed the world. Honestly, Yu-Gi-Oh ruled the United States especially for many years. The early 2000s all the way to like 08, I want to say. Yu-Gi-Oh was everything for kids and even adults around the world. I used to be 10 years old dueling against adults books and shit like that. So Yu-Gi-Oh fans around the world, this is going to be a very special issue of Weekly Shonen Jump, paying respects to Kazuki Takahashi. And yeah, it's a sad time, but I'll definitely report on everything that is said because I know a lot of people are mourning. Okay, next up, this is something of a small update, but definitely wanted to bring it to you guys' attention because y'all already know one of the biggest festivals, one of the biggest stages where they announce like everything for anime and manga, or they supposed to. A few years they drop the ball, like they'll make a big Boruto stage and we get absolutely jack diddly squat. But Jump Festa, you probably heard of Jump Festa. You probably heard it from me a million times. Well, Jump Festa 2023 has been announced. It says here, Jump Festa 2023 will be held this year on December 17th and December 18th. A big event where lots of anime and manga announcements related to Jump Shueisha will be made. Again, this is where all the big stuff goes down, and it gives us a heads up now, even though we're all the way in July. But December 17th and 18th, which is usually the dates, it'll be happening, and I believe they're going to do a in-person as well. And man, if I could get my ass to Japan for that, I would love to give you guys live coverage. Even though I don't really know Japanese like that, I'd have a translator be like, yo, tell me what is said, or I'll just have the phone with the Japanese to English translator app open and have everything said there, even though it's probably not the most accurate, but it would be a fun experience. And either way, I just would have a blast going to Japan for this. And yeah, Jump Festa 2023 already a confirmed thing, and I hope they do it a little bit different too. Hello, global simultaneous announcements for us, please. Thank you. Like, that would be huge and we would all love it. Like, I hate having to go to like X, Y, and Z backdoor sources to watch this shit, and it's not, well, that is not made for you. Then no, it is made for me because I consume all of the products that they eventually are going to bring anyways. So yes, it is 1000% meant for people like me. I mean, for crying out loud, look behind me. Hello, people like me that love anime and manga. So make it globally simultaneous, easy. Let me go to the Jump YouTube channel and watch 5 stages at once, please. Okay, people, so you may have caught last week we spoke about a lot of Jump authors are getting sick. A lot of Shonen Jump authors have been getting ill, whether they're in Shonen Jump, Jump Plus. It's been a travesty to the point where I believe it was Stage S, a manga in Jump Plus, has to go on indefinite hiatus due to the author being sick. We know that World Trigger author is constantly sick. We know Yoshihiro Togashi, his back problems is legendary at this point because of all the stuff that has happened behind it. And now a newbie with Rui Dragon. It seems as though this mangaka is not catching a break, and in fact, so much so the author actually did an apology letter. And yeah, there's more to it, but let's read. Apology letter to fans from Rui Dragon mangaka Masaoki Shindo. Sensei writes that editor commented that it kind of feels like the final chapter when the 5th chapter was submitted. Later on, they got sick and had to take a week off. He apologized for it since it's at very early stages of the series. I've been so flustered with all the firsts and things. I especially put off taking care of my health. I'm going to prepare myself to stay in shape during this time. Those who have been involved with Rui Dragon, to those of you who have read it, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, Ruri. Thank you for enjoying it, even though it just started. And then right after that, off the heels of the hiatus, it says Rui Dragon will be going on another break next week in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 35, and the series should resume in issue number 36, which means that this isn't a false alarm. This isn't a fly-by-night thing. If the author got sick last week and is sick once again, yeah, this is not good, especially starting early on. If this continues on, like, yo, shout outs to the author getting these breaks. That's great. But if this continues to go the way it is, this author will eventually be a low priority for Jump, and they will look at it like, hey, it got a good reception. A lot of people are talking about it, but the author can't, do the weekly thing. So they could very well say, you know what? We're not going to pay much attention to it. We're going to give it the axe, or ideally, I would prefer for it to go either monthly or go to Jump Plus or something else. If the author can't work, if the author is getting too sick already early on, it might not be the best to be in Weekly Shonen Jump. And I'm not saying this as a dream crusher or whatever, but we know how Jump is. We know their axe there quickly. Like, yo, what? Your elbow itches? Somebody get the axe. Get this motherfucker out of our magazine quick. Like, they're really, really up in arms about any and everything. If you ain't charting well, you're out of here. If fans is backlashing, go on a 3-month hiatus. Get the fuck out of here. Like, they are really, really bad with it. So sending best wishes and positivity to the author Rui Dragon to get well, please. I hope that they take the rest. I hope that week they're not there like the legendary story of Yoshihiro Togashi, where he was sick and he hurt himself and he was in the hospital drawing Yu Yu Hakusho. Please don't do that. Take that week and relax. Maybe, you want to gather your thoughts. You want to write a note here or two, but ultimately, unplug. Sometimes you gotta unplug. It was I don't know, a week ago, for the first time in ages, I turned off all my devices, all my phones. I went out and I had an amazing time, and I felt when I came back so refreshed and rejuvenated. Take that weekend, relax, and get better. Honestly, just get better. But yeah, people, author of Rui Dragon's apology letter and another break incoming for the series. If you're a fan of it, it's not looking good because we're just starting and already some breaks and health issues, sending positive energy all around. Okay, so this is very vital for fans of Shonen Jump. Bar none, if you enjoy Shonen Jump manga, then this is something that you might want to be in tune with, because in case you didn't know, as of recent, the editor of My Hero Academia, a very infamous editor, he was also the editor of the Hunters Guild Red Hood and My Hero Academia. He took over about the last time Medio returned in the My Hero Academia manga. He was recently transferred out, some say fired. He was taken off of damn near every project except like one manga, whatnot, and a lot of fans say, holy cow, the writing just all of a sudden improved. A lot of people blamed him for the cancellation of Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru, the creator of Naruto's last manga that he tried doing. The Hunters Guild Red Hood author, the last couple chapters was very meta with what seems to be pointing the finger at, yo dog, my editor ruined everything. The editor fucked it all up. He's the problem right here. And getting rid of him was a very big deal. Now, Shonen Jump, they did a lot of things where they publicly announced all of the shuffling of the editors for Weekly Shonen Jump, and we have a list now. So now we have names to blame. Okay, people? Now we got names to look at, like, yo, when shit starts going left, when we get transfers and whatnot of editors and shit like that, now we can say, oh shit, so they got rid of X, Y, and Z. Let's take a look at the list of the names we got of the editors of who's taking care of what manga. So for example, we got the Katayama team. Katayama is the editor that is taking care of Jujutsu Kaisen and Doron Dororon. I'd imagine that's why Doron Dororon is also lasting. If dude that does Jujutsu Kaisen, which outside of One Piece, no, I scratch that. It right now is the highest selling manga every volume that comes out in Shonen Jump. Like, it does better than every other series in the magazine. Like, that's probably why Doron is lasting. If he would have gotten Taguchi Sensei, yeah, it would have been terrible. So that's probably why. Shout outs to Katayama. Then we have Iwasaki, the current editor of One Piece, and One Piece been quite, I don't even know the greatness recently. Undead Unluck, Hashimoto. Hashimoto, I don't know how long you've been with Undead Unluck if you just got shuffled in. Hopefully you could save it in its final hour because it's ending, but Undead Unluck, it didn't get the treatment it deserves, I feel. Araki, he's doing Mission Yozakura Family. I've heard nothing but positive things about Yozakura Family, and I can't stress enough, the art just looks so cool. Like, shout outs to Yozakura Family. Then we got the Takano team. Takano is the one doing Pipa Pipa P. Pipa Pipa P has stood the test of time, despite the fact that I had ridicule of, what? Stood the test of time. Azuma, the elusive samurai. Okay. Fukuda, I believe he's the new guy that has taken over for Black Clover. Oh my god, Fukuda, please, this is the final arc. We're going in the final stretch. Fukuda, we're watching you. We're watching you closely with a microscope, dog. Don't play. Not the Clover Hive. Get him if he fucks around, okay? The new editor, thank goodness, for My Hero Academia, Imamura, we're going to be watching you. And then there's somebody, Anayama, but they're not saying which series Anayama is taking care of. Then we got the Murakoshi team. Murakoshi is doing Blue Box and Akane Banashi. Surprisingly, two noobs that are blowing up. Hello, this is how you do it. So shout outs to Murakoshi. Ishikawa, Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days, I've never heard one bad thing about Sakamoto Days. Not one. Shout outs to that editor. And again, of course, the authors. But this is the time for the editors to shine, whether negative or positive, okay? Gotta be clear about that. We got Mutsumori, High School Family. I never hear shit about High School Family. And then we got Takahashi. Takahashi, I'd imagine, is probably, maybe these ones that they don't have a series are probably substitutes, or hey, hit them up for time to time. So that's probably. And then lastly, we got the Sugita group. Sugita does Me and Roboko. My god, I've really become a big fan of Me and Roboko. Shout outs to Me and Roboko. We got Asai, Marshall. Marshall is about to end soon, but shout outs to Asai. And we got Muraoka, who does Aliens Area. I don't even know what the hell that is. Oh, it's a new series, right? The art actually looked pretty cool. I gotta look into that one. And then Kuwahara, not to be confused with Kuwabara, although the own dub of it in the 90s from Pioneer confused Kuwabara with Kuwahara. Yu Yu Hakusho reference. Either way, yeah. So now you guys know. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see. Blame these motherfuckers when shit starts going left. I blame them as well. Not only looking at, oh, Horikoshi, oh, Oda, oh, Tabata. These dudes put their names in the mix as well. there you go. And by no means am I saying to attack, harass, and bully. I'm saying that we've seen the difference. We've seen what an editor can do. We've seen that editors have a lot of control and a lot of say-so on our favorite series. These are the dudes that are taking care of it. I have no doubt in my mind that Iwasaki probably has I was going to say the easiest job in the world, but, well, One Piece is a massive project, so maybe not. And probably he's intimidated, like, yo, you mess up one thing, dog, they're going to fling your ass out of Shueisha through a cannonball. Dragon Ball gaming fans. Yes, fans that love Dragon Ball games. In case you don't remember, there was a game announced a while back, Dragon Ball Breakers, breaking them balls, fam. No, but Dragon Ball Breakers, and we didn't get no release date. All we got was a trailer, and a lot of people, rushed in to get to the beta. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those people. I never got a chance to play it. But either way, we got finally a release date for Dragon Ball The Breakers. It says here, Dragon Ball The Breakers launches October 13th in Japan and October 14th worldwide. They got to give their home country a day ahead of us, huh? Dragon Ball The Breakers will launch for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Automatically, you killed off a massive fan base of the PS5 because I play on PS5. So, yeah. Maybe I'll go to, I don't know, my nephew will jump on his PlayStation to play it. But, and PC via Steam on October 13th in Japan and October 14th worldwide. Publisher Bandai Namco and developer Dimps announced the game will be available in the following editions. There's the Standard Edition, digital only. This includes a full copy of Dragon Ball The Breakers, an Android 18 skill, wall kick, transfer, and a Scouter blue accessory. Details on digital pre-order availability will be available at a later date. Then there's the special edition. This includes the full game, a customizable costume, a dragon yellow vehicle skin, a two-handed good victory pose, an Android 18 skill wall kick, transfer, and a Scouter blue accessory. Limited edition bundle, the Bandai Namco store exclusive. If I do get this game, which I probably will because it just sounds too much fun. I said, hey, I got PS5, but playing with my niece and nephew, this just seems like the game we will have so much fun with. This includes the full game, all special edition exclusive content, and so everything that was just announced. I'm not going to repeating. Oh wait, no, there's a couple extra things. A Dragon Ball The Breakers themed steelbook, an exclusive Cell Shell figure, and the Potara Green accessory, which is a timed exclusive Bandai Namco store bonus. And there was a closed network test that will be held across platforms August 5th and 6th. Users can register, which I'll probably just wait at this particular point. Like, I already missed out on the first beta, so during the test, the newly announced Raider Frieza and previously revealed Raider Cell will be available to play. Survivors will also have access to Oolong and Bulma, and they have session times or whatever. But yeah, so we finally got the date, October 14th worldwide, October 13th for Japan. You'll be able to play Dragon Ball The Breakers, and again, this just seems like so much fun with my kids. Like, that's really the main thing. Like, I'm gonna be having a blast messing with my kids. They're not gonna know who's Oolong and all of this, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna show y'all Oolong, dog. I'm gonna outrun all you motherfuckers. Fuck out of here. I'm actually really excited for this one. I just really don't understand why they excluded PS5. Like, that should be slam dunk. Why not? So kind of puzzling, although maybe considering it's on PS4, maybe I could still play it on my PS5. I don't know how that works, but Dragon Ball Breakers gonna be fun. Moving forward, now I'm not 100% sure on the validity of this one. I'm pretty sure, but not 100% sure, so take this as rumor for the time being. But allegedly, in case you don't know, Solo Leveling, we reported on it recently that Solo Leveling has officially been confirmed to be getting an anime. They put out a little PV teaser, didn't have any animation. It was just like, hey, Solo Leveling anime is coming and it's gonna be produced by, if I'm not mistaken, A1 Pictures, which is great. A1 Pictures does great work or whatnot. But this one right here, if this is indeed true, is very alarming. Because according to this, it says, Solo Leveling anime will change the MC's nationality. According to this, it says, Solo Leveling's MC, Song Jing-woo, will be from Japan, and he will have a different name. So essentially, they're doing what the West used to do when they would license stuff from Japan over here, and we would go from like Usagi to Serena and all of that jazz. And I mean, there was even certain points where they were damn near changing shit like Krillin to Bob and stuff. Like, yo, they were wildin', and it seems to be the case over there. Now, I'm not exactly sure, and I don't really want to get into the, ins and outs of the history between, Korea and Japan and all that jazz, but I'd imagine there's some sensitivity to that as well. But I think more so, it's not really my place to say how people should feel. I'm asking anybody out there that is either located in Korea or from Korea or just in general from that culture in particular, or even from the Japanese side of things, anybody anybody that knows a Japanese friend or you're a Japanese native, how is the climate for that one? How do you guys feel about it in terms of the big change? For me, I see it as what used to happen coming again from Japan to the West when they would localize things and change shit so that way it could kind of be a little bit more palatable to audiences that aren't familiar with that, or maybe it's a little bit darker, or it's just vastly different. I feel like the reason they're doing that is, well, just like what they did over here in America. But maybe I'm off on that. Maybe there's more to the story. And either way, I'm not necessarily fond of it. I don't like that idea. I don't understand, considering, you know, the internet is vast and wide. Anybody has access to it. What would be the reason of changing things? Because if there's anything culturally relevant to Korea or whatnot in there, aside from names, then they're probably going to have to change a lot of things too. Like, are all the characters going to get name changes? Or it's just going to be him? Are all the characters going to be from Japan? Is the setting going to, like, how far are we going to go with this? So it's definitely a slippery slope, and definitely reminds me of the cringiness and how fans used to really freaking hate and be an outrage when they would do this shit for, you know, anime coming to the States. They're now doing it with, a Korean manhwa. They're bringing that shit over to Japan and doing things like that. And I'd imagine there's probably not going to be much appreciation. I'd imagine people over there, the, you know, day one fans of Solo Leveling are going to be a little bit feeling like rubbed the wrong way. Just in general, like, keep the name. What's the big freaking deal? Maybe relations are a little bit hazy over there. Maybe there's some tension, but I don't know. I just think that that's a big mistake, and eventually down the road, like, and it also makes me look at Solo Leveling as well, like, how much are they going to experiment? Because, like, if you're doing things like this could be an offset for failure. Like, we already had a couple of ones like Tower of God, God of High School. Neither one of them were able to capture the magic and live up to the potential. A lot of people felt, oh, boom, we're about to get the big webtoon takeover, we're about to get the manhwa, takeover with all of those titles. People weren't really fond of them. They were rushed adaptations. God of High School just felt like one big fight. And if they're doing things like this with Solo Leveling, experimenting with changing names and nationalities, how far are we going to go with this? And this could lead to disaster. But we got to wait and see. Either way, supposedly Solo Leveling anime will be changing the MC's nationality and name. I don't like it. Okay, so I found this to be very interesting. If you're a subscriber of Crunchyroll, if you have a Crunchyroll account in various parts of the world, apparently they're going to be decreasing the prices for their monthly membership. However, don't get too crazy, because I've seen that there's a couple of places, very notable places, that are absent. But according to this, it says Crunchyroll lowers monthly price in almost 100 territories. Crunchyroll announced on Monday that it has immediately reduced its monthly subscription price in almost 100 countries and territories, including, and there's a long laundry list or whatever. I did not and don't quote me on that, but to my knowledge, I do not see the US on there. I see United Kingdom, of course, Sweden, China, Thailand. There's like a million places, but I do not see America or the United States. So if you're here in the West, you're kind of screwed. You're not getting a reduction in price. Also, I noticed that they don't say how much the price was reduced. Like, I've seen a couple of people in the comments saying that in India, it went from like $10 to below $2, I believe. Was it India? I want to say it was India. Please, anybody from India out there, let me know if that's confirmed or not. And a lot of people said, well, that's because we don't have a lot of titles over here available to us, so it wasn't worth $10 to begin with. But it says Crunchyroll implemented its first major price increase in history in the United States, Great Britain, Australia, and the Nordics in 2019, probably their biggest markets. And they were like, hey, let's just milk the shit out of it. Implemented its multi-tier subscription offerings in 2020. The service stopped providing the free ad-supported viewing, starting with its spring 2022 season lineup earlier this year. Yeah, they got rid of the free viewing, which was funny because didn't Netflix announce that they were going to try doing like you could watch with ads for a low cost or something like that? But they got rid of the free entirely. Like, older stuff they'll still allow, which eventually they're probably going to undo that too. But not only did they got rid of that, but then they did the price increase. However, for a lot of other places, you're going to get a price decrease, so that's a good thing. If you're in North America, don't be fooled by the headline. Don't be fooled by it. They didn't decrease shit for you. We're still stuck at whatever the hell they're charging me at this point. I gotta look. I think it's not even that bad. I'm not gonna lie. In comparison to like Netflix, every other freaking month is like, yo, we're charging $1,000 this month. You can't do nothing about it. Like, Crunchyroll, they're fairly priced. I think it's like, what, $7 or something like that? $7 for all the anime you can watch. Like, that's a steal. So I'm not necessarily mad at it, but yeah, in other places, I'll have the list somewhere here on the screen, you will be able to watch anime at a discounted rate on Crunchyroll. Not too bad, but again, don't let the headlines fool you. It might not be your place. Next up, people, let's calm it down a little bit and talk about the top 50 best-selling manga of the week, courtesy of Jose_K. Okay, people, so starting at number 50, we got Golden Kamuy in 24 days, 281,000 with 16,000 copies this week. Pretty good stuff. Okay, then we got Soso no Frieren Volume 8, 17,000 this week, bringing its total to 261. This one right here, however, very interesting. The new series PPPPPP, did I say them all? The new music series in Shonen Jump. Its third volume in 7 days, 17,315. I'm going to say for what it is and for what they're trying to accomplish, that's probably a win. For starters, a debut in the top 50. For starters, it's not a battle series. It doesn't have the battle. Like, if you've seen Me and Roboko, that's been around for ages. It's a comedy series. It only did like 10,000, I think, with its latest volume. And it's been around forever. But that's a comedy series, and sales might go up after the anime. And I'd imagine that's probably what they're betting on with something like P. And 17,000 isn't bad by any means, especially, again, it's a music manga. So I'm interested to see where this goes. But in 7 days, 17,000, it's not great. It's not whoa, but it's not bad. I'm starting to understand for, what it's trying to accomplish in Weekly Shonen Jump and the demographic that they're trying to bring into the magazine by having a different type of manga other than a battle or even a comedy. Like, this is a music thing. Then we got Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest Volume 12 in 3 days, 18,123 copies. That's not too bad. In a full week, it probably would have did like what? 25, 26-ish or something like that. Could be way better, and I'd imagine once the anime comes, it'll probably boost sales, because Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, from the, I don't know how many chapters I read, 20, 30 chapters, maybe more than that back in the day. It was better than Fairy Tail, a lot better than Fairy Tail, so I'm looking forward, high expectations for when that anime drops, and it's dope to see that it's still debuting in the top 50. Again, I believe Hiro only writes it, and somebody else does the art, so yeah, there's that. Then we got Kaguya-sama Love is War, Volume 26, 24 days, 211,000 total. All the way up, Undead Unluck. In 7 days, it did 19,000 with its late. Yeah, they're going to call it quits with this one. I remember when Undead Unluck was doing, in like a short week, it would do 40-something thousand. In 7 days, 19,000. They're probably going to call it quits. And I'm going to call it that it won't get an anime. I'm going to call it that they're going to do a live action for this one. I know that sounds horrible, but I just don't see the love and push for Undead Unluck. And I haven't seen it in a very long time from Shonen Jump and Shueisha. So Undead Unluck, yeah, it's going out very low in sales. And it's unfortunate because, again, all I've ever heard is it's really, really good. And from the 20 or so chapters I read, it was really, really good. Then we got places 40 through 31, Mystery to Lunakari or Iu Nakari, I don't know how to pronounce that, 21,000 this week. Blue Giant Explorer, again, what is that manga? I gotta check that out. 11 days, 72,000, not too bad. At number 31, Record of Ragnarok, Volume 15, in 21 days, 210,000 total, 25,000 this week. Dope stuff. Oh God, places 30 through 21, minus 22 and 21, everything is Spy Family. Jeez, it's what, 25,000. So pretty much about 25 to 28,000 people ran out and bought Spy Family this week. Isn't the anime over? Like, it's still getting a big push despite the fact that the anime is over for the time being. Like, it returns in October, but geez. Then Kingdom, Volume 65, another 29,000, 571,000. Geez, Kingdom. A success story beyond measure. It did it with solely its quality. The anime had barely any bearing on it. Then we got places 20 through 11, another Spy Family, Volume 9, 31,000, 1.5 million. And that came out April 4th and 1.5. Jeez Louise. Then going up, that one manga that I still want to check out, somebody actually gave me a synopsis of it and it sounded really good. Kusuriya no Hitori Goto, and it's a seinen mystery drama. That's one of the biggest things that caught my eye. 39,000, 290,000 total. Then we got Goshu Fudo Volume 10. Oh, that's Way of the House Husband, 42,000 in 4 days. Why? That's great for that series. Wow. Then we got Top 10. Top 10 is a very, very interesting. For starters, number 9, Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken, 43,000 in 7 days, 44,000 total. That is great. Like, Dragon Quest is a very, very old IP, or the story that I believe this is the Avon spinoff. This is like a prequel where Avon was younger. That is amazing for a very, very old IP. Shout outs to that. Number 8, Tokyo Revengers, Volume 28. In 24 days, 723,000 total, 49,000 this week. Somebody told me that this is actually trending worse than the previous volume. So it's not the covers that is having any bearing. I think it's at this point, Tokyo Revengers is starting to see a decline. I think it had too much of a quick explosion, and now it's on the decline with every volume, on top of the fact that the fan backlash has been, to say the least. Big ups to this one. Love to see it. Absolutely buying a physical when it comes out over here in the West. Goodbye Eddie, the one-shot manga that was extremely long, was turned into a volume, and in 7 days, it sold 55,000. Yo, a one-shot of Tatsuki Fujimoto, author of Chainsaw Man, did 55,000. A one shot. Tatsuki Fujimoto, the GOAT. Then Marshall, another series that has absolutely seen a decrease in sales. In 7 days, 62,000. I remember when Marshall was doing about 100 in 7 days. So it's dropped damn near in half. Granted, we're 15 volumes and doing 62,000 with still no anime. It got announced it's getting one, A1 Pictures, but still no anime. Insane. Kimetsu Gakuen Volume 2, 71,000, 72,000 total in 7 days. That's a little chibi spinoff of how is Demon Slayer still making so much money? And it's been over, the source material been over for 2 years, going on 3 years. Oh my god. Dr. Stone, the final volume, Volume 26, in 7 days, 156,000. Great send-off for a great freaking series. Love to see it. Shout-outs to Dr. Stone, Riichiro Inagaki, and Boichi. They came, they saw, and they threw science at us. We got that Slime series in 4 days. Jeez, 254,000. Oh, I know whenever I get into that, that's going to be a very, very fun ride. Then the top 2 are 2 titles that I absolutely love, and I'm happy to see it up there. Kaiju number 8, Volume 7, 313,000 in a week. A little bit lower than the average for Kaiju, but I ain't mad at it at all, and I love to freaking see it. It deserves to be up there at the top. And then edging out Kaiju by a decent amount. What about like 60, 70,000? My Hero Academia Volume 35. In 7 days, 384,000 total. Very, very solid top 50 with some very notable titles from Marshall, Kaiju, My Hero, Goodbye Eddie, Tokyo. This top 10 alone is god tier of the big titles. And overall, very, very interesting. Let me know what you guys think. And closing this episode off, we got the weekly Shonen Jump author comments. We don't have weekly Shonen Magazine. I don't know if the magazine was on break this week, but we got weekly Shonen Jump. Let's jump into them. At the very top, we got the dude, the GOAT, My Hero Academia's Kohei Horikoshi. My former assistant Fushimi Sensei is doing the art of Verbellum Kotoba no Senso, which now has Volume 1 on sale in Japan. That is so freaking cool. That is so respectable that this dude took and used his platform, the Weekly Shonen Jump Author Comments, to promote one of his assistants' works. That is promoting his assistant's work. Like, you just put this series, I never would have even heard of this shit. Verbellum Kotoba no Senso. Claps to Kohei Horikoshi. That's big. Then we got Gege Akutami, author of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll fix it. I have the bad habit of thinking that it's still Monday all day, Tuesday until midnight. Yeah, I bet. That's just anything to avoid them deadlines, huh? I'm bad at it. Then we got Shuhei Miyazaki, which I'm probably going to cover from now on. I like me some Mia Roboko. Sentinel, thank you so much for creating a super awesome figure filled with love. Is it a Mia Roboko figure? I wouldn't even mind having one. I don't know. I like Mia Roboko. It's crazy, dog. I never thought. We got Yoshifumi Tozuka, author of Undead Unluck. I want to watch the new Gundam movie, but I'm too busy, so I keep watching Char on my Mac. Yeah, I could rewatch the shit out of something on the side. Like, I'm good at rewatching something, but let it be a new thing, I gotta have my full undivided attention, so I feel him. Then we got Gen Osuka, Dororan's author, and I'm happy. He's actually like in the middle of the magazine, not in the back. Good. I love all cheesecake, and I also love chocolate, so Mr. Donut's new product makes me so happy. Delicious. I'm glad to see that you're eating and you're not at the bottom. You deserve to be up there. Let's go. Yuto Suzuki, author of Sakamoto Days. I'm not a fan of food that I can't tell whether it's a dessert or not, like Jimami peanut tofu. Ooh, I don't know. That doesn't. Is that good? I don't know. We got the author of Martial Magic and Muscles, Hajime Komodo. Yuka Kageyama's radio show is great. As good as Yakult 1000. Don't know that one. And we'll close it off. I'm not familiar with this author or this series, but why not? Earthchild's Hideo Shinkai. During these difficult times, I draw my manga every day as if it's a song of encouragement to everyone who's trying their Fest, and I love that. That's me with my creation. Whether I'm releasing content on any of my platforms, any of my FORNEVERVERS, whether it be music on the Nimrod Media account, whether it be videos on the ForneverWorld account, breaking and dissecting chapters and new manga, whether it be giving you guys news, an inspirational thing over on Fornever the Fuck I Want, whatever it is, I always love inspiring. Keep going. Don't quit. And yeah, people, those are the weekly Shonen Jump author comments. And that's all we have for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I tried my best with this one. I brought you guys a lot of bangers, I think. Let me know what you guys think. Most important story, favorite story. Jeez, we covered a lot in this one. From Black Clover to My Hero to Boruto. We've had it all. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm ForneverWorld. And as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just watched another episode of FORNEVERNEWS. Have an awesome day, lads. Subscribe and hit that bell.
So